Hey, welcome to an exciting adventure that Kirk Wilson and I are going to attempt to do. I'm Jeff, he's Kirk. Luckily, we have our name tags on. You can catch Kirk on the Geek Effect, where he does a much more in depth review of action figures and the like. So, It Figures is a show about Kirk and I basically picking action figures that we have that we've been really excited about and talking about them. It might be a new release, it might be an old release, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you're watching and you're going to find out some stuff about action figures. Now, Kirk is going to look a lot more professional than I do because Kirk is really good at this, as opposed to me, who is learning how to work the magic, as it were.
Yes.
So, go ahead, Kirk. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our fine folks on our inaugural episode?
I don't know. I think you kind of said everything for the most part. I mean, except for the fact that just, enjoy the show. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them down below and we'll be sure to answer them.
If you really want to get our attention, you can use the brand new hashtag Tons of Fun. That's TOF, It Figures. And we'll be able to look at, some of your own pictures and some of your own figures on Instagram and everything else. So once again, that new hashtag is a hashtag or # for people of my age group. Tons of Fun, It Figures, and show off some of your cool action figure photography or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Kirk, why don't you jump into it? What figure do you have for us to talk about today?
So today, I decided I'll talk about the retro card Venom from 2021. This is a Hasbro PostCon exclusive, and I think it's definitely one of my favorite figures that I've picked up during the start of me collecting, especially from being a fan of the retro Spider-Man line of figures. This was one that I definitely had to get in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Do you have the OG Toy Biz one to compare it against, or no?
I don't. I
Not
think
yet.
at some point though, I do want to get some of the Toy Biz figures that
Mhm.
are for the ones that I do have from the remakes, and then kind of have them as comparison videos. I think that'd be fun to do.
Awesome. So posability, every Spider-Man body after the Pizza Time Spider-Man has basically is the same build. Is
Mhm.
Venom built the same way, or is he more? Does he have the butterfly? Or tell us a little about his posability.
So for posability, he does have the butterfly joint, so you can angle him back. It doesn't go as far back as the one for the Pizza Time Spider-Man or the retro card Spider-Man, but it goes back a decent bit. You can get it in forward like that. And then the only thing that's different about this body mold is that there is no diaphragm cut, unfortunately. So you can't get too much articulation in the mid torso area, but you can get some ab crunch right there. And then you
Boom.
can also swivel it in the waist. That's the only thing that I think, if I'm being completely honest, I think maybe the one other point of articulation that could also benefit the Spider-Man figures would be the waist swivel.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Venom there definitely has some different colors. That looks like black and red on the arm.
Yeah, it's blue and red to do the cell shading from the 90s animated series, because this is more taking inspiration of that than just making another Venom character that fits within the retro line, so they wanted to pull directly from the show for this one.
That's awesome. How's photographing him been? Has it been easy, or have you not started yet? Or
So I did actually get photos of this guy. I posted them over on Instagram, and then they're also in the review video. But I think the one challenge with photographing him was finding the right background. The first photo I did of it was it was all right, but I didn't like the backdrop, and so I had to do some more searching on Google, just trying to find something that felt fitting for both characters. Since I took photos of him with Spider-Man side by side and stuff. So I think the main challenge with this guy was definitely finding the background for it.
do you have the Venom and Spider-Man picture pulled up? We could show that off to just get a little
Yeah,
bit of a
let
size
me
comparison. Yeah,
let me get that for you.
but you're knee deep in the Marvel stuff, and it's kind of awesome, Kirk. I gotta say.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's been pretty fun. Let me see if I can okay,
it's a
there we
big
go.
rabbit hole.
Let's let's see. All right. Share screen. I'm gonna have to pull it up as a separate window. Um,
I will be editing this part out.
okay.
Yeah.
Select window. All right. Oh wait. What the heck? I did not mean to do that. Share screen.
You messed the stuff
Sure.
up, Kirk.
It keeps telling me I hit block. Let me see. Click that. Oh. Of course. All right. Loud. Share screen. And there we go. All right. Should be able to see that, right?
Yep, we can see that just fine. Alrighty.
All right.
So from the top, 3, 2, 1. So Kirk, do you have any like size comparison pictures you could show us with Venom and Spider-Man?
Yeah, I do. I can show you guys right now. So here we have I took like 4 photos, and I had to kind of pick through the ones that I liked the most. And so for the first photo, I wanted to do Venom basically with the claws kind of like hanging over Spider-Man's head. So Spider-Man's head is detached from the body. I thought it kind of looked pretty cool because Venom seems like the guy that would kind of want to like rip someone's head off at the end of the day. So
yeah.
So I definitely wanted to get a shot like that. I think that turned out well. The next shot was a battle sequence, sort of between the two of them. So you have Spider-Man in the corner over here, and then Venom on the left, where he's like kind of in a attacking pose, tongue sticking out, and everything like that. I did try to do some slight like glowing effects, sort of to the eyes on both characters. That was sort of my first attempt with doing it, so it wasn't the best, but I think it turned out at least for what I was trying to capture. It worked.
Yeah, that looks really good. That doesn't look horrible at all. Like that's good.
Yeah. And the next shot was another one of those attempts with trying to like add some brightness to the eyes, and I have Venom like grabbing Spider-Man by the throat. So I thought that would be another good one to do.
Spider-Man looks sharp there. The eyes on that look amazing. That's an awesome job. That retro Spider-Man really goes well with the retro Venom for sure.
Yeah, it does. It does. And then the final shot was, well, that's just usually the thing I add now to the end of the photos. But
well, I mean, people should do that anyway. So
yeah. So they're those are the photos, and those are the ones that, like I said, I wanted to pick because I take like a decent amount of them just to kind of give me like a working sort of a area of like which ones, like different options of what to go with. So after I review them, see which ones work best, then I just kind of pick out of those, and then I post those after I'm done with it.
And how do you find your backgrounds, just in case somebody wants to take up this hobby? Like, I do Google searches, but what about you?
So usually I do Google searches as well for like looking for the backgrounds, and I just kind of type in basically like if I'm looking for something that has like an animated sort of background look to it, where it's not like a real life. Say like this one, I was looking for like a warehouse sort of background, so I typed in like animated warehouse background or backdrop, and I kind of just like go through the options because I feel like at least for most of the photos that I've done for the retro Spider-Man figures, I've tried to find animated backgrounds versus realistic backgrounds. The only time I kind of use those would be with like some of the MCU figures that I've taken photos of, like Doctor Strange. So there's I kind of like try to mix it up and make the backgrounds fit the character.
I do have a recommendation, not on your photography skills because those are top notch, but if you want to check out like some props, like some webbing, like webs.
Yeah.
Like that. The shop is called Hero HQ Props on Etsy, and they make webbing for Spider-Man. They're totally posable, so you can get it as much as you'd like.
Yeah.
It's like $6, and you get 4 webbings, like 2 long, 3 shorts, or 2 long, 2 shorts. It's pretty cool. So, just something to look forward to for other people too that are doing this with Spider-Man.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's awesome, Kirk. It looks like you had a lot of fun with the figure. So how many? We have to. I didn't really think this through. We need a rating system.
Oh yeah.
So 1 out of 10 chicken nuggets, 10 being the best, 1 being like Wendy's chicken nuggets. How many chicken nuggets do you think we got?
I'd say maybe like. I'd say maybe it would be. Maybe like an 8 out of 10 chicken nuggets.
8 out of 10 chicken nuggets. That's our official ruling. All right. That's fair. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Only a 9 because of the way that you photographed this, but like the other things, I wish he would have came with like an Eddie Brock head, he's like. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down to 8. Yeah, 8 chicken nuggets. For retro.
Venom. Yeah, that's honestly the main reason why I kind of feel like it's like an 8 out of 10 for me, because I made mention of that in the review. It's like you get two different head sculpts. So it's I don't know how well it's going to show, but you get the one with the tongue that's in the mouth, and then you also get the one with the tongue out of the mouth. At
Right.
the same time, it's like I think one additional head sculpt that would have made sense would have been Eddie Brock, like
Yeah.
having that kind of how like they have the retro card Peter Parker, and you could always mash up the heads when it comes to that. You can take the Peter Parker head off of it, put it on the Spider-Man figure that was released from that same wave, and it works. But with
Mhm.
this one, he doesn't have heads, just the Venom. So I mean, hopefully we'll see an Eddie Brock at some point later down the line, but it would have been nice to have that inclusion, especially with it being an exclusive figure.
Sure. Excuse me. They did the same with Jubilee. Like, here's Jubilee.
Mhm.
You can't really see her because that's not how I'm gonna be displaying figures like this. But like,
Yeah.
they gave her two heads, like one blowing bubble gum and like removable glasses. And that bubble
Mhm.
gum sells for like $40 right now because everybody that has a breaker wants to put the bubble gum in breaker's mouth.
Oh
It's a
wow.
thing. Part of the reason why I got the figure because I'm gonna flip it. But anyway, the point being is that like anytime there's like a action figure or whatever without like effects, it kind of pisses me off, and like
Mhm.
Wolverine has claws, and he gets those claws, and it's great. But like when you've got Jubilee, whose primary ability is to fire fireworks or
Mhm.
cause matter to implode at a micro whatever,
Yeah.
like there's no effects. But on the other hand, though, the hobbyists that are making that stuff get money because
Mhm.
reasons.
Yeah. Because I think that's like one of the letdowns for me when it comes to any of the Spider-Man stuff. Like the only web effect that we've seen that maybe like a web shooting effect would be for Cyborg Spider-Man, but honestly, that's not the best. It doesn't look as good as the ones that we see that for example, Hero HQ props or many other people make when it comes to like custom web effects and that sort of thing.
I mean, hell, if you even wanted to get creative, you could use some of the white rope from Lego,
Mhm.
the Spider-Man rope, and like
Yeah.
weave it together like that, and almost have Hasbro, you're
Make
a
it.
multi-billion-dollar company. Get your crap together. Come on. Alrighty, so that was vintage retro redo Venom. That's what I'm going to
Yeah.
call that figure, even though
Yeah.
that's not what it's called at all. And the box art for it and everything else, it came in that big black scary
Mhm.
box.
Yep. Which I do love the box art. I will say that's like one of the highlights for me.
Mm-hmm. That's a great
So
box.
like the design of it is good, and then you have like the image on the back, like in a grayscale sort of image. So that's nice. And then the packaging on the inside is pretty much the same as the other retro cards. So same background, the artwork for the character, and then the info and everything for the character as well. So
It's pretty awesome. That is one thing that Hasbro does right with their Hasbro Pulse
yeah.
or the Justjeffrey that I got came in on an awesome box. And
Hmm.
anyway, all right, so I guess we'll go to my pick of the week. But my pick of the week has
Okay.
been up the entire time. It's not Wolverine and X Force out of form. It's the Cobra Infantryman. So Kirk, you know this because we're pals. I
Yeah.
never really gave a damn about GI Joe when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and now that I've gotten like older, well, that's changed. So, and basically, I started doing the whole army building thing, like
Yeah.
to a degree. And there we go. So these figures are awesome. They come with 3 guns and a knife. I mean, albeit the guns are like more along the lines of like sci-fi and not like the
Like
Sergeant Pepper.
actual. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool and all, but like there's other companies right now that release 6-inch action figures that have that, and I'm really happy about it. And I'll just leave it at that because
Yeah.
that's another discussion. But they're fun. They're like I don't know what it is. Like there's a satisfaction with army building. I have 5 of those for my little Joe squad and like pictures and everything else. And like there's just a certain sense of satisfaction. Like when
Hmm.
you're posing a picture of like Snake Eyes against 5 Cobra guys, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is fun because I'm 7.
Exactly.
Like it's awesome, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff with these guys. I've got a couple with Wolverine, as apparently he is my muse when it comes to figures. So like that's Wolverine with some Cobra guys. Uh, Cobra guy Ted lost his hand, and just kind of like the wrong back alley for those dudes to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they've got all the posability of a modern figure. You really can't like go wrong. And
Hmm.
like here's another one with we've got the red ninja right there, we've got the Cobra soldier right here, and he's just again, it's another thing with Wolverine. We're like, yep,
Yeah,
got your friend's head, so and like Storm Shadow in the background, but like it's just cool being able to have like you've got like your main bad guys for most like themes and stuff, but it's
yeah,
nice to have like Ted the janitor as well. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I get it. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's cool. I like it. I'm gonna try
Are
to find.
there, in terms of like the articulation stuff, like is there anything on them that you wish would be added or like wasn't there?
I really wish that the vest was more modular, but
Hmm.
like on the other hand, I totally get it. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a hard plastic, so like
gotcha.
then we've got Destro with a Lex Luthor head because I could, you know,
Yeah,
and
I get it.
that's just a random hallway, and like they look good in the pictures. So like that's another thing too is that like if they don't look good, then what's the point? But yeah,
Yeah.
like that vest is really stupid. Um, the only way to really get rid of it, I guess, is with hot water and like to slip the figure out of it like a nightie,
Hmm.
and like no thanks.
Yeah,
I
like
tried.
they could do, because I mean Hasbro is the same company that makes the GI Joe, makes the Marvel Legends. Like I know for the Mr. Fantastic figure from the retro vintage line, I haven't unboxed them yet, but I know that you can remove the jacket because they make the arms where they're actually able to come off the figure, and so you can just take the jacket off. So I think maybe if they were to attempt something like that with these, where it's like you can pull off the arms, remove the head, and then you can easily just take it off the figure. But I don't know.
That's what I've been looking forward to, like trying to find as well, is that option of like how it works and everything else.
Hmm.
And like, well, so this was the initial image I
Okay.
was going to use with that Wolverine, but like as you can tell, the lighting sucks, on Wolverine himself, and like the lighting on the Cobra guys are fine, but like
Yeah.
they're just good figures to like have pictures of. Like, I think that's literally my favorite thing.
Hmm.
Is that aspect. And for that reason, I'm giving it a 5. I go 5.5 chicken nuggets.
Okay.
That damn vest, I could do without. The face masks, I wish they were removable.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what's the point of the ab crunch and everything else if you've got that vest there that prevents it?
Exactly.
They're all unmodified Pizza Time Spider-Man bodies. They've all got the butterflies. But that vest just hinders all of it. So it's like, why did you even do this? Why? You know. So it could have been great, but it was a miss. Also, here's a picture of Spider-Gwen.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So that'll be a hint as to what I'm doing next week, or not next week, but 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So we got 8 chicken nuggets for Venom, and we got 5.5 chicken nuggets for me for Cobra. What about you, Kirk? What got any wishes or?
Hmm. For like the retro line, like what I would like to
Well,
see.
I mean, what do you think about the Cobra guys? What's your ruling on
Oh,
it?
so I mean, I think like you said for like the face mask, I think if they were to maybe additional head sculpts for the figures to kind of go with that, I think that would kind of help to ease that situation. And then like I said, the with the arms being removable, I think that would probably help the situation as well in regards to being able to remove the vest if you don't want the vest on and kind
I
of make it
mean,
that.
another thing too, like in the scheme of things, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if anybody's been to a store lately and has walked down the figure aisle, but
Mhm.
there appear to be several hundred Eternals figures hanging on pegs
There are.
everywhere you go.
There
And
are.
if you ever needed a different head sculpt for a different figure, they're clearanced. So I've been thinking about doing that for some
Mhm.
other stuff, like Valaverse stuff that's coming, and
Gotcha.
just because I don't like helmets on characters. I don't know why, especially when they're supposed to be a specific person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. But, so what's your ruling? How many chicken nuggets are you going to give it there, Kirk?
I'd say, I'd say maybe like a 6 out of 10 chicken nuggets. I'd
Yeah.
say. Because
You know what?
they do seem fun. Because I mean, like they have like the whole like armor and weapons and stuff. So it's kind of like, I guess, more fun to kind of like get action sequences and stuff with those in comparison to what I collect, which would be like Marvel Legends more so. So they do seem like there's a lot of fun like when it comes to the GI Joe line and like their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the sculpt and everything else, it's all cool and everything. It's just that
Mhm.
Baz really kills it for me. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Alrighty. Well, this has been the inaugural episode of It Figures. We might even have a theme song if Kirk decides to edit one together. It's okay if he doesn't, though. Um, I'm Jeff. He's Kirk. That way. So we'll see you later, and it figures. So we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.